Gaza phase, if we ever get there, there's been talk of having maybe the Palestinian Authority in control. There's also been talk of having Egypt and Qatar play a role there. What do you think is the most likely scenario?
Well, one thing is clear. There is not going to be a political order or a power center in Gaza that is not Hamas unless there is outside help for the Palestinian Authority or the Palestinians in Gaza. They need power. They have no means to make sure that Hamas doesn't come back. At the moment, there are two groups in the Gaza Strip that hold weapons and therefore all the means of violence. One is the Israeli army, and one is whatever is left of Hamas and the Palestinian Jihad. There needs to be an outside force. The talk is about Arab states. I'm not sure the Egyptian government is very keen to do this, but there needs to be some kind of outside policing force in Gaza to prevent Hamas from coming back.
Gaza is a Palestinian territory. Palestinians presumably should be in control of that. The Palestinian Authority is really, for many, the only legitimate Palestinian government that's operating in the Palestinian territories now. Could it be reformed and given control of Gaza and to allow a new political process to elect a new leadership, perhaps?
It is very clear that the Palestinian National Authority needs a lot of reform. It hasn't held an election in more than a decade. It is really also politically weakened, but it's also clear that if the Palestinian National Authorities would be given full control of Gaza now, the same thing that would happen that happened in 2007, where all of the parts of the Palestinian National Authorities that were not Hamas were thrown out of the Gaza Strip. So for the immediate moment and for quite a while until the PNA has been reformed, and it has to be possible to reform the PNA because that's the only Palestinian political non-terrorist representation that the Palestinian people have. When they get that help from whoever provides that help, the UN or international forces from the Middle East, they have a chance to take control again, reform, and then restart negotiations with Israel. But this is even longer off than the implementation of this immediate hostage deal.
Hans-Joachim Schindler from the Counter-Terrorism Project, thank you very much for talking with us today.
Thank you so much.
Hamas militants killed more than 60 residents of Kibbutz Kfar Aza during the October 7th terror attacks. They also kidnapped 19 others there. Since then, family members of those hostages have had to endure an agonizing wait for news of their loved ones.
The Bibas family, taken hostage from their kibbutz of Kfar Aza on October 7th and not heard from since. Kfir Bibas was 9 months old, his brother just a 4-year-old. Taken with their mother, father, and uncle. Their grandparents murdered. Now baby Kfir's second birthday is this week.
We don't really celebrate. It's the saddest birthday. The second one, because we had one last year.
Hamas has said that Kfir, his brother, and mother died in an Israeli airstrike. But that's never been confirmed, and many believe they're still alive.
These days are horrible for us. I want to know already if they're coming back. I want to know already if they're okay or not. I want to hold my cousin in my arms. I want to celebrate the biggest celebration. And I'm ashamed.
Amit Susana was also kidnapped on October 7th from Kfar Aza. She spent 55 days in captivity, some of that in a Hamas tunnel. She was the first freed captive to speak out publicly on sexual abuse by her Hamas captors.
There was little food. I was kept in the dark and had to ask permission to use the bathroom. even not allowed to close the bathroom door. After that, they moved me to different places with different Hamas guards in each place. All the guards were heavily armed and abused me and the others hostages.
Susanna was released during a week-long ceasefire in November 2023, together with 11 other hostages from her kibbutz.
The only thing that kept me going there was the belief that the world is behind us, doing everything in its power to release us. I was released after 55 days that felt like eternity. I hope that the remaining hostages there are able to keep their faith alive and stay strong. But even the toughest souls can't hold on for such a long time.
Susanna, along with hostages' relatives, have campaigned ever since, in the hope that Kfir Bibas and everyone else can finally come home.
Leaders here in Europe have welcomed the announcement of a ceasefire deal for Gaza. The German Chancellor Olaf Scholz posted this on social media. He said, "This agreement must now be implemented to the letter. All of the hostages must be released." And EU Commission Chief Ursula von der Leyen also called the deal a positive development, saying this brings hope to an entire region where people have endured immense suffering.
Good morning to you. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Daily. It's a beautiful morning here in Tesano, Accra, Ghana. We're excited to be here and to be hosting you once again. And thank you for spending some time with us. And I said we are excited because it's not just about me. I have Jifa with me this morning. Jifa Katie, hey, how are you?
Kweku, good morning. It's good to have you back. Look who's welcoming me.
Well, it's good to have you two here joining me this morning.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back also.
Of course, good to have you. Last week was without you. I missed you just a little because Nana Tufo was...
You sure it was just a little?
Oh, yes. Nana Tufo did me well, so... He was good to me, so I missed you just a little, but welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Right, so we have a very interesting day and a show for you today, so stick with us throughout the show from now till 10 a.m. There's so many different things happening, but we do like to interact with you, so use the hashtag Breakfast Daily if you happen to be watching us on our streams. We have YouTube that's live, we have also on Facebook, etc. You just use hashtag Breakfast Daily, and comment, all right, and we'll hear what it is you have to say. We'll read it out on the show. The WhatsApp line is 0204-447-033. Use that number as well, and whilst you're watching us on TV, and send us a message. My name is David Kweku Sechi.
And my name is Jifa Katie Akuto, of course. Good morning once again, and it's an absolute pleasure to be starting your Thursday mornings with you right here on the show. This morning, the lineup for the show is quite very interesting. So as Kweku said early on, you may want to stick and stay with us this morning. And of course, join us via social media. Let's get very interactive. We'll start off the show this morning by giving you some words of inspiration. And then later on, we'll bring you news review, what the papers are saying, as well as what is online. And also, we'll bring you some sports stories, and we'll have a conversation about one of the leading causes of death when it comes to cancer amongst women, cervical
Yeah.
cancer. So
Yeah.
my ladies, you may want to stick and say this morning is going to be very, very interactive. Also, we'll be bringing you the Effective Living series, as well as some conversations on the Heritage Caravan. The Caravanites, I'm sure you're excited about this because some good news is about to be working this
yeah,
morning.
yeah,
So do
yeah.
stick and stay if you want to be on the Heritage Caravan
Some good news and
2025.
some surprises.
Exactly. Heritage Caravan 2025 this morning. I'm not sure you want to turn or switch off your television set or go off if you're watching us on social media. So do stay with us. When the time is right, we'll come to you with that conversation. And also, we'll be having some sports conversations right here on the show. So you're very welcome.
Who's going to stay on top of the league? Who's going to win? Who's doing what? Who's going down? Who's going south? All of that, we'll be discussing that on sports at the tail end of the show.
Right, let's start off our morning then with the quote of the day. This morning's quote of the day is from Tony Robbins. Tony says, take the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. Find the cause of your problem and eliminate it. Don't try to be perfect. Just be an excellent example of a human being, of being human. Sorry, so Tony Robbins says, take the opportunity to learn from your mistakes. Find the cause of your problem and eliminate it. Don't try to be perfect. Just be an excellent example of being human.
Wow.
Kweku.
Wow.
Great
like it.
message
I like it.
to start off the morning.
Yeah, I think that Tony Robbins is, I mean, for me, one of the, well, I think he's one of the most prolific, if I can say, motivational speakers that I know of. Brilliant author, brilliant speaker, and his thought process. I mean, look at what he's saying here. Just, it's human. What did he say? To err is
It's
human,
human, yes.
right? So don't try to be perfect. Just learn from the mistakes. When the mistakes come, learn from, because they will come.
Yeah.
Learn from them. That's called being an excellent human, right? Because to err is human. You will err. You will make mistakes. When the mistakes come, learn from them. Learn how not to repeat the same thing that you did in the past and get better, you know.
Right. Just to add to what you have said, mistakes, sometimes we view mistakes from the point where we feel like, I have failed so much, I can't do it again. But really, mistakes are not failures.
No, they are not.
They are just another opportunity for you to sit, reevaluate whatever you are doing, and then grow out of it. And so long as I always say that the moment you wake up in the morning, you are alive, you are kicking, you are breathing, you know that you have life. It's always an opportunity or another chance to live, another chance to right your wrongs. So don't try to be perfect. As Kweku rightly said, we are humans, and no matter what we do, we would err. You'll flaw some way, somehow. You can't live a perfect life. So just go with the flow. When the mistakes come, just sit back, reevaluate, access yourself, and then right your wrong and grow out of it. That's just the way I understand.
No, it's brilliant.
Yes,
It's
this quote.
exactly
And
what it
I
is.
think it's a perfect one to start off the morning.
Yeah. All right. Well, a few reminders for you. You know, if you've missed all this while, well, today catch the Effective Living series. Okay, there are brilliant advices that are being given by various guests of how to improve your life significantly in 2025. Okay, so the Effective Living series today comes on at 9:20 right here on Channel One TV. Now, if you happen to have to leave us at any point in time during the show, catch it live on radio at 9 a.m. All right, so Tanisha Tego, who was with us earlier in the week, also a conversation with Apioko is today on how to properly establish a side hustle. How to properly establish a side hustle or side hustles. Yeah, because you can have more than one, you know. have
Multiple streams of
yeah,
income,
multiple
yes.
streams of income.
Yeah.
So Tanisha is going to take us into that. And sometimes you're working at in an organization, and the time is limited, right? You invest majority of your time at the organization that you work with, and so the key here is how to properly establish a side hustle, which presumes that you don't have all the time in the world. So how will you do it, right? And so she's going to show us how to actually make it happen.
I am very much interested in this
I am too.
conversation because there's nothing as good as having a multiple stream of income.
Yeah.
The way the world is going, there's a lot of pressure on our finances.
There is.
So if you have just one source of income, that means that you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself and your finances as well. So this is just perfect. As we've started a new year, the way to live effectively, and these are one of the things that we'll be talking about this morning. So don't miss it. And if you are not even sure of what you want to do or what kind of side hustle you want to get into, look, stick and stay with us right here on Channel 1 TV. At 9:20, we'll be bringing you the Effective Living series. And by the time the conversation will be done, I'm sure you'd have made a decision or you'd have found something that you pretty much want to do. So that's about the Effective Living series. Bakweku, I'm excited about this second announcement, the road trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
The most anticipated.
No, like literally, it's a road trip of a lifetime.
Yes, the road trip of a lifetime.
I don't know where else in the
only
world.
road trip in Ghana.
I don't know anywhere else in the world this kind of road trip exists.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, seriously. Because let me just say that last year we had people who flew from the US just to come for the caravan.
An experience,
and as soon as the caravan was over, the following week they were back
yes,
to their countries.
yes.
People came from the UK, people came from other parts of the world. And so, believe me, it's becoming a global phenomenon. And this year, I won't be surprised if people come from as far afield as Russia and Eastern Europe and other places as well. Look, I was mind blown. There was a couple. We may spot them in one of these videos that we are, on the screen that we are looking at. But there was a couple who they approached me whilst we were on the trip, and they said to me that we love Breakfast Daily. We watch you all the time. And then I said, okay, but where do you watch me from? Then they mentioned one state in the U.S., right? I think it was Carolina or something. Then I think North Carolina. Then I was like, but wait, hold on. So you came to Ghana, you've been in Ghana for a little bit? They said, oh no, we came for the caravan.
Yeah.
I said, so when are you leaving? He said, next week.
Just look at that.
Literally, that's
Yes,
what it is. A
yes.
husband and wife team, young couple.
Yes.
It was beautiful. I was like, I couldn't believe it. And then I met others as well,
And Kweku, another thing for Channel 1 TV and City event, another thing about Channel 1 TV and City FM events for me is, the fun, the excitement, the merrymaking and all of that set aside. The opportunities you tap into on the events, the kind of people you get to meet, the connections.
The connections. Absolutely.
Look, you meet CEOs that usually
you can't reach them.
Yes, you may never get to see them unless, of course, by an appointment.
The PA will tell you they are not in the office. Meanwhile, they are there. But the PA is the one who's blocking you. By a caravan, there's no PA.
Exactly. You are sitting right next to the person
on
the bus.
For 5 hours, 6 hours.
You are sitting right next to them on a dining table, on a lunch. You are dancing together. You are touring Ghana together. And you can put up your business proposal right there. You can have that conversation. You can pitch your business. You can talk about your side hustle, as we are going to be talking about on Effective Living, right there to them. And look, you may be awarded that multi-million-dollar contract right on the caravan. You don't know.
And it's happened for people.
Yes.
It's actually happened for people.
People have met their spouses on caravan. People have met their girlfriends, their wives. Lots of beautiful connections.
I know a couple that met, I think it must be 6 years ago, on the caravan.
Right.
They met as individuals. And that same year, by the end of the year, they were married.
That fast.
And they've been married since. Yeah, and they keep coming on the caravan.
Look at the beauty of it. Aside from the marriage and all of that, the beautiful friendships, the bond and the lifetime
And
relationships.
Last year, the husband came with his mother-in-law because he has put his wife in in a family way.
Okay.
So
we'll be having caravan babies, huh?
No, but Frema will join us later on the show
yes.
to tease us a little more.
I can't wait to
with
hear
some
what
nice
Frema
sweet
has
things.
for us.
Yeah.
I really cannot wait, and I'm sure viewers can't wait either. But I mean, we are saying all of these and having these conversations, but if you're watching, as you're seeing on your TV screens right now, these are some excerpts from last year's caravan. You would be saying, I missed. Yes, you did.
Of course you
Trust me, you did.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to miss out again this year.
If you haven't called already,
I don't know
you
what
may also
you're
miss
waiting
again this
for.
year.
Yes.
No,
so, but if you don't want to wait, if you were waiting yesterday to say that, oh, I'll call them today, don't procrastinate, my dear, because the slots are getting filled up.
Yeah.
And the moment it gets filled up, there'll be no exceptions for you. You get it. So please call the number 0205 973 973. Call now. Do not wait. There's no time to waste. So 0205 973 973. That is the only way you can book your slot or your seat or on the bus on the caravan. And the road trip is starting on the 2nd to the 9th of March. So if you have anything to do during that period, push it earlier or further back so that you can have the experience of a lifetime. So the Caravanites will be expecting to see you in all your glory and the energy that you always come with.
Yeah. You know the excitement about this year's caravan for me.
What's the excitement?
In fact, my lobbying has begun, but I don't know whether it is working.
It is going through
or
or
it's not going. I'm not sure what's happening with the lobby.
We'll see about that.
But the excitement for me is that Maha, for the first time,
mine.
is 2 nights in Maha.
Yes, good.
Hey.
Yes. 2 nights in
Look,
Maha is beautiful.
Look.
I haven't been there personally. I have been following them on
No, me,
social
I've been,
media.
so I know.
Yes, I get it. I have friends who've been there, and I've seen some of their videos and the images. It's a beautiful place. The Western region itself is such a beautiful place that you may want to tour. But Maha is also like a big deal on its own. Doing 2 nights in Maha is very, very exciting.
And the thing about it is that Maha has a lot to offer.
Yes.
The only thing is if you go to Maha unguided, as in nobody's taking you through the experiences, right? You may think it's just the resort that is there, but there's a lot more.
To
so
explore.
Guess what? 15 minutes away, maybe a little less than 15 minutes, there's a town called Benin. Benin is the landing spot for Nzulezu.
Oh.
Do you understand? So you know Nzulezu is on water, right? So there's a boat that will take you from Benin to Nzulezu. So Benin is the town where you land. Everybody gets down. You'll give you the instructions. We're going on water. You'll give you your life jackets, everything else, and then you go. You jet off on the boats,
Right.
with the canoes and everything else, and you go to Nzulezu. So that's one.